going? This is Nihilspire with an emulation video on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. In case you haven't heard, the Skyline emulator has been officially discontinued. So, why even make a video then? Well, as you can see in this footage, the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus is a perfect commuter device, seeing how it is almost a whole inch shorter than the Switch Lite, making it perfect for crowded subways. It's not going to run every Switch game, but it can run a few, so let's see. Starting off, we have 8-Bit Dungeon, a fun little game that was also released on the PS Vita. It runs fairly well, maintaining a stable FPS. Next is Absolute Drift Zen Edition for the Switch. This does not reach full frame rate. While it is playable, due to the drops, you get a lot of input lag, so it's not the best experience. There is a native Android port, but it doesn't have controller support, so unless you use screen mapping, this is the only way to play it, and it's not a good one. Awar's Awakening is an old school platforming game, reminiscent of the NES era. It runs perfectly smooth, no frame drops, and I believe there's even a NES ROM file you can get when you purchase the game. Astalon Tears of the Earth is another old school retro inspired game that runs perfectly on the Skyline emulator on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. Take a look at some of the gameplay. Next is Blaster Master 02 and 3, which will combine into one entry. They run perfectly fine now. The earlier Edge builds had an audio glitch that has been fixed in the newest updates. Unfortunately, the first Blaster Master game does not boot. You can get it to show the splash screen, but you can't play it. However, that being said, this game runs perfectly on the newer builds of Skyline. This next game was actually really surprising for me to see runs as well as it does. This is BLOODRAYNE FRESHBITES, which originally released on the Xbox Live Arcade back in the Xbox 360 days. It just amazes me to see a device this cheap from China running this at almost full speed. There are some graphical errors and some UI bugs, however, the experience is still a good one. BLOODST Curse of the Moon 2 is a NES throwback to Castlevania in the BLOODST series. There's really nothing much to say about it. It's old school, it's difficult, and it runs perfect on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. Blossom Tales is a Zelda-esque game where you play as a little girl who's reenacting the story told to her by her grandfather. It's pretty interesting. It's not the best Zelda clone, it's got its quirks, however it runs fine on the Retroid Pocket 3 and is worth a look. If you've been in this community for any time, this one should not surprise you. Freedom Planet runs perfectly on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, as it does on almost everything. However, it's a fun little Sonic-like game that was released, quite a while ago now. Check it out if you have the time. This next game will show you exactly how long this video has been in the works. This is Gal Guardians. It used to be called Grim Guardians, however due to copyright they had to change the name. It can drop to about 40 FPS, and it has some audio stuttering. However, it's not the worst experience. You gotta take the compromises with this place. It's still amazing to see what the T618 can really do. And it's not just limited to 2D games. Here's Mitsuguri, which is a 3D brawler-based arena game, running smoothly on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. This game is pretty old. I remember playing it way back on Intel Atom chips. But it's just nice to see a 3D game working with this chipset. Now nearing the end we have Restless Soul, which is an adventure sort of comedy game. I have to admit I did laugh a few times, so that might be my poor sense of humor. The frame rate is consistent, however there are some graphical issues and some minor frame drops that could occur. Still, a worthwhile experience. Here you can see one of the graphical errors. As you can see, the water is not rendering properly. And also the camera function does not work. It just shows up black. So there you have it, just a short showcase of some more obscure Switch titles running on your Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. Now I won't replace this anytime soon, especially in 3D games, however, it's still a great effort. There's a Reddit post linked, which has the 250 other titles I tested. Good job, Retroid. You did good.